Thanks for coming on today's Drink Run. I'm your host, Shalise. Welcome, everyone, to Drink Run's very first episode. I could not be more excited to have you all here listening. If you are listening, thank you so much. It is so fun for me to be able to finally do this, and I cannot wait for all of the fun episodes and interviews to come. Today's episode is a special one because I'm sitting down with my sister, Cami. We're talking about her journey into marriage, motherhood, and the parts of postpartum that caught her completely off guard. We're getting real about what new moms need, what people get wrong, and how we can love our friends and sisters better after they have a baby. All right, everybody, we are stoked to have you here.
Thank you.
I have my sister here as my very first guest, Cami Felter.
Hey.
Welcome to the Drink Run podcast. Let's give her a round of applause. It lasts forever. We're going to have to really work on that. But Cami, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Cami and I just went on our very first drink run. If you are not watching this on YouTube, go to my TikTok or Instagram to watch some clips from our drink run. It was epic. Mm-hmm. We really enjoyed the drink for the most part.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was good. So, okay, I'm going to do a quick intro of Cami because she deserves to be recognized, and I want her to hear my intro that I made for her. Okay, Cami Felter, my sister, my BFF. Cami is funny as heck, perfect overall, and is always available for fun. If you know her, you know she has major FOMO always. She is married to her high school sweetheart, Kaden. They have 2 kiddos, Isla, who is 3, not 4, Kaden, and Cohen, who is 5 months.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Cami lives in northern Utah with her family and their dog, Milo. He may or may not be a felon. We can get into that later, potentially, or not. She is the youngest kiddo in our family. I'm the oldest sister, and she's the youngest. And you would never know because we're the best of friends. Yep. But she is the sweet and sour sibling, I would say. She is feisty in the best way, but also the sweetest person. She grew up dancing. She's a huge fan of the Princess Diaries. Cami is the most supportive friend. She's 100% the person you want in your corner cheering you on. She's an avid self-tanner. She is chaotic in the best way, per my husband. And she has a talent for romanticizing her life. She is everything good in this world, and I am so grateful that she agreed to be my first guest.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. So nice.
Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. I wanted to have Cami on because I feel like in the last few years, she has some experiences that have been a lot, also the best, though, that have given her a lot of good learning experience, and she's honestly just great. She is down to earth, and I feel like a lot of people could relate to you, which is why I want to have you on. So we're going to get right into it. First of all, Cami, you got married at 18.
I did. Very crazy, very Utah.
Very Utah.
Yes. Fresh out of high school.
Fresh out of high school. I want you to walk us through that. I want you to walk us through like the situation with you and Kaden and how you decided that you were going to get married at 18.
Okay, it's kind of a blur, honestly, because I feel like I was so in the, like, I romanticized it all. Like you said, I romanticized my life. So I feel like, me and Kaden, me and my husband started dating my junior year, and he is a year older than me. So he went on an LDS mission. It was during COVID time, so he was out for about 4 months, and then he came home. And I remember the day that I found out he was coming home, I was talking to my mom, and she's like, well, what are you guys going to do? Like, are you just going to keep dating? Or like, what are you doing? And in my mind, I was like, oh, like, what are we going to do? Like, I know I want to marry this kid, so maybe we should just get married. And I feel like I automatically just this was so set on that. Mm-hmm. And now that I look back, I'm like, you're batshit crazy. But I was very determined, and I romanticized it. I was so excited about planning the wedding, buying my wedding dress, picking out my bridesmaids, like marrying my best friend, that I just didn't think about the age. I mean, I did worry about what people were going to think, but then I also, like, my mother-in-law got married when she was 19. My husband's grandma got married when she was 18. So I feel like I just kind of like justified it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember it felt like the moms were pushing hard for you guys to get married.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember I still can think of a conversation we had where you were talking about potentially trying to go to BYU Hawaii.
Yes.
And you were like, yeah, Caden's gone, so I might as well go have that experience. And it was like right after that Caden was like, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
Because poor Caden, he was stuck during COVID times.
He was. They would have been able to go out and teach. They would have been stuck in the apartment.
Yeah.
So,
which would have been terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
But okay, so you decide you're getting married.
Yes.
What then? Because timeline, you're still technically
I was still
in
high school when we decided we were going to get married. So,
which sounds
is actually
so
insane.
Crazy. But in the moment, I remember like it was like, oh, they're young, but it almost just felt like this is going to happen either way. But looking back on it, I agree with you. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You're
and I don't know
high school.
if I should say this or not, but I feel like with our religion too, I feel like we were also I don't want to say pushed, because no one pushed us into it, but they did encourage 100%. Us to get married so that we wouldn't make a mistake.
Yeah. Which is so hard, because I can understand that that's totally.
But I personally don't feel like that's a reason you should get married.
No, I agree.
But at the time, I honestly was just so excited. But yeah, so my husband came home in March of 2020. So the heat of COVID.
So you're like quarter 4 of high school.
Yes.
Right.
And I also felt like I was no longer in high school anymore, because with COVID, we stopped going to school. We just did like a little bit of online. So it almost felt like I graduated like early. So I don't know if that played into it as well, but I'm pretty sure, I can't remember the exact. Hey, me and my husband did get engaged today. 7 years ago. No, 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 6 years ago today we got engaged. Yeah.
So we're recording this on June 6th.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So June 6th of 2020, we got engaged.
That is so wholesome. I'll have to see if I can, I don't know what I'm doing, but if I can edit this, I'm going to put on some pictures of your engagement, because it was actually so cute. Didn't you have a video too?
Yes. My photographer, shout out Emily Evans.
We love her.
So great. She recorded the engagement session for free for us, because we booked with her ahead of time. But
I do remember that.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm pretty sure I bought my wedding dress before I graduated high school.
Yeah, I think you did.
Which is, honestly, when I talk about it, I sometimes am like, what the freak? Like, how? Who let me do that?
I mean, we were all right there. I'm like getting embarrassed for all of us, but also it worked out. You guys are so cute and perfect. I'm sure there have been struggles, which like maybe we'll get into, but so you got your wedding dress while you're still in high school.
Yes, we went wedding ring shopping while I was still in high school. And then we got engaged in June.
Yeah.
So, and then wedding was in September of 2020. And luckily for us, it kind of calmed down COVID wise. So I feel like we kind of lucked out with our wedding. Like we were able to have people, but yeah.
And I feel like we have to talk about this, because the way that they
party,
that too.
Oh,
but the way that the dates worked out for your wedding.
Oh yeah.
You got, so again, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and Cammie got sealed in the temple on what day?
So I got endowed on September 12th. I mean, excuse me. September 10th.
Yes.
Got sealed September 11th. Unfortunate day, 9/11.
And but then your like ceremony and stuff.
Ceremony was the 12th.
Yeah. And I remember Cammie was like hell-bent that none of her stuff, because you know that some people give you stuff that's like Felters established this day or, you know, and Cammie refused to do the 11th, even though technically that is what day they got married.
And now that's the day we celebrate it.
Yeah.
Which is so funny, but I was like,
she did not want anything to say September 11th,
I
which
didn't.
Like understandable, but it was just really funny.
And again, I feel like, I don't know. I look back and I'm like, why did it have to be September?
I don't know.
Why did we have to have such a quick engagement? Like, again,
I don't know. Yeah,
I
tell us.
don't regret it.
Yeah.
At all, because I'm lucky and it worked out for us, and my husband's my best friend, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Mm-hmm. But I definitely would not recommend to like somebody.
Yeah. I mean, so your daughter, you have a daughter,
Yes.
Isla. So
Yes.
if Isla came to you and said, as a senior in high school, I think I'm getting engaged.
It's freaking wild. I feel like I would say, because it's hard, because I feel like you got to be careful, because you don't want, like, I'm sure in your guys' position, you didn't want to tell me not to, because you didn't want me to resent you guys.
Totally.
But I feel like my suggestion would be like, if you know you want to be with this person, that's fine, but just like continue dating and like establishing who you are.
Yeah.
So that you can have a better foundation for when you get married.
Yeah, which I guess that probably is, because obviously maybe a con would be you haven't really grown into who you are fully, but maybe a positive as well is that you guys have kind of grown up together.
Yes.
And have had experiences that have like shaped the two of you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are any other like pros that you've seen just from getting married young?
Yeah, I feel like you said, we were able to grow together. And I feel like where we were so fresh out of high school, fresh off the mission, we weren't really that into our ways of like, how do I word this? Like, we weren't very, I'm trying to think of how to word this.
I know what you're saying. Like, it's
we
not
weren't
like
set in our ways of specific things. Like, we were able to kind of agree and like communicate on like different things that you normally would already be set.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
simple
how to
things
explain
like
that.
No, I know what you're saying, because I feel like when you get married older,
Yeah.
you are an independent individual.
Yes.
You know how you like your eggs made,
Yes,
or you
exactly.
know how, you are more specific in the way you like things, where I guess when you get married young, you kind of set those standards together.
Yep.
Yeah,
For sure.
So,
Yeah, we're pretty much like the same with like how we like things done.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I love it. Okay, so another part of this that is kind of funny, because you got married young already. I want to talk about how your husband looks very young. You both look very young, but Caden especially.
I look back, it's so funny, because I knew at the time that my husband looked young. But I look back at pictures and I literally am like, I'm marrying a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, he looks, we'll have to, I don't know if we can insert a picture or not.
We will. We will for sure.
But our wedding pictures is like, he looks like he's 12. And a thing with that too is I feel like I look back and like, I feel like you don't really know who you are. Like, I loved my wedding and I but like, I had jet black hair, and everyone kind of goes through this, but like, I feel like if I was a little bit older, I would have been more like,
it would have been more of like a lasting like choices based off of your
not like
adult perspective,
then, right
not
then.
But I do think your wedding ended up being very beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it was so pretty.
Our parents had just built a brand new house, had a beautiful yard with a beautiful view, and so that worked out great. But okay, so Caden looks very young, which is going to bring us to something I'm very excited to chat with Cammie about, because it cracks me up. So Caden still, because how old are you guys now?
He'll be 26 this year and I'll be 25.
Which is so crazy to me. Again, I feel like Cammie gets upset about this, but I feel like we still think that Cammie's 10 years old sometimes.
They do, but I secretly love it. It's fine.
So when I think of Caden being 26, I'm like, that feels bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But
I do think he has grown into himself now. Like, totally. I feel like I don't think he looks 26.
Agreed.
But I think he looks like 2021.
Yeah, I agree.
which
I agree. He looks older now.
but he looked literally, we'll insert a picture.
Yeah.
12
He
when we
did.
got married.
No, 100%. So, I can only imagine like the temple workers that day when you guys were coming in. They're probably like, wait, do we have the right people?
Yeah, they probably thought we were trying to hurry and get married or something.
Yeah, who knows? So we have two stories we want to hurry and go over because they're both hilarious. So I'll let Cammie tell the second one, and then I'll let her weigh in on this first one because I love this story. So the year Cammie got married was pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
Because she got married in September. I got married June, and then my brother got married August, right? Mm-hmm. So not the same calendar year, but within a year, 3 of the 4 kids got married. So it was pretty crazy. So right after everyone had sealed the deal, we were done. I think we went that spring. We did a family trip to Mexico.
It was like 2022.
Yeah. And again, like we're coming out of COVID times. And so I think my parents got a really good deal. And the resort was like very, laid back. Like there were not a lot of people there. No. And we ended up getting these little villas on a golf resort.
So fun.
And they came with a golf cart, which we were not anticipating, but it was a pleasant surprise when we got there and they're like, yeah, every room comes with a golf cart for you to drive around the resort. Cause we were kind of off in a different area, which we loved. It was a blast.
Yeah, it was so fun.
So one of the things that happened while we were on this trip occurred when poor Caden was driving a golf cart, and Cammie is going to take it from here.
Okay. We're just strolling along on this golf cart and we get pulled over. I didn't even know that was possible, but they wave us down. They're stopping us. We're like, oh boy, what's going on? We pull over and he was like, are you old enough to drive? And then I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if he had to show them his license or not.
I think he did. I think Caden said he asked to see his license.
Yes, because they truly did not believe that we were old enough to be driving a golf cart. That Caden was even 16. They didn't even think that was how old he was.
Which poor Caden, so he's just trying to drive.
Yeah, we're just trying to enjoy our trip. And it was so funny. He was low-key pissed, but the rest of us thought it was so freaking funny. And he's 100%. Kind of gotten used to it now, but
but I remember he was not happy.
No.
He's like, freaking stupid.
I don't look freaking 16. I don't look freaking 15.
Yeah. Okay, so that is story number 1 with Caden being called out for being young. So here's another.
Okay.
This is very important.
This one is good. It's really good. And
good.
Are you inserting the video?
I think I'm going to just add your Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I want people to.
It's on my TikTok.
Oh yeah, your TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll add Cammie's TikTok so you can go look at I'll add a link to the video.
Yeah.
And then you should follow her because she has super fun content. But
try.
But this video, guys, her telling this story on TikTok went absolutely viral.
It did, which is honestly embarrassing. I just have to set the scene. I'm 38 weeks pregnant. I probably like 30 weeks pregnant because it was summer.
But you were pregnant.
I was pregnant.
Yes.
And I'm pregnant when one of the, at the bottom of like TikTok, they have like the search button where like common searches after watching your video.
I forgot about this.
And it was pregnancy nose, which I get it. I really did have pregnancy nose. If you go watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about.
But people are diabolical.
Oh, they're so bad.
I got mean.
Comments on my eyebrows. I gotta tell this story first.
Yeah.
This story will forever live rent free in my mind. So, me and my husband were going through Swig. Mm-hmm. We hadn't ordered yet. So this young girl, she's probably like 15, comes up to the window, starts taking her order. And she was like, just randomly, she was like, do you have your license or your permit? Asking my husband. My husband was driving. I'm pregnant in the passenger seat. She's like, do you have your license or your permit? And my husband's like, what? And she's like, do you have your license or your permit? And he was like, my license? And this is the part. She says, wow, I would be really scared to drive with my mom in the car.
And like Cammie's in the car. Like she's next to Kaden. And Cammie does not look, you don't look old. Like you look young too. This girl legit thought Cammie was his mother.
So I just start hysterically laughing. I could not help myself. Kaden was so confused. He just goes, yeah. He was so confused. I was just laughing. She kind of was looking at me like, why is she laughing so much? But yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm his pregnant mom. Yeah. Like he got me pregnant. So
we love it.
Yeah. So that is, you got to go watch it because I told it right after it happened. Mm-hmm. And it is so funny.
Like she was heat of the moment. She's pregnant.
Oh, sobbing. But not in a bad way. I was laughing. People think that I was actually upset about it. No.
You didn't look upset about it at all.
Yeah, people were like, she's just hiding her tears. Like after the video, she's just sobbing. I'm like, no.
You're like no, really actually.
But after that video went viral, I had people going onto my page and going through past videos. And they were like, honey, it's your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are making you look so old. And I do have to admit, there for a second, I don't know what happened, but I was doing them pretty blocky.
Yeah.
So like I've toned that down a ton.
It was funny though because I
so
remember, yeah, because you posted it. I mean, that happened with Isla years ago, right?
Yeah, I was pregnant with Isla. So 2020
and
2022.
Yeah, and you just posted this video like last year?
Yeah.
And so like it's been a few years.
It has.
And anyways, but it just went viral. And
Which is so funny. I was not expecting that. I just thought it would be funny to post just to have on there. So like, because it's a funny story.
Yeah.
But it has, I think it's 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Which for me, that's viral.
Well, yeah. And I think you have like 80,000 likes or loves, whatever, which is that's so crazy to me. I'm like,
it is. Well, because
that's
like,
insane.
I look at that and I'm like, it's not that much because I look at other people and how much they get. Yeah. And I'm like, but for me, with 1,000 followers, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like a million people is a lot of people that saw my big A pregnancy nose.
Yeah. But truly diabolical. I just remember you calling me and you're like, I just posted this video and all of these people are now talking about my eyebrows.
Oh, yeah. It was
She's
crazy.
like, do I have eyebrow blindness? And I'm like, I haven't noticed. And then
it was
like,
a whole thing.
Anyways.
People were going back and stalking like my husband on my profile too.
Yeah. They were like reposting his picture, which was really awkward. They were like, this is what her husband looks like.
Yes, they
because
were.
in
they
the
were
video, you can't really see him
Yeah,
for long.
I don't even know if I showed him in the video.
I don't know that you did either.
I don't think I did.
So like, but very diabolical and weird that people are literally like reposting his photo in the comments saying, this is the guy.
Her husband. And then the people responding that, oh man, he does look like he's 15.
Yeah. No, so funny.
Which I get. So it was just so funny. I'm like, it's a forever joke around the house that I look like I'm his mom.
Yeah. No, I love it.
We honestly, my friends were ahead of us and we thought that they had told him.
Yeah.
Like we thought they had told the swig worker to play that joke on him, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Should we take a pause now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get ready.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the friends ahead of us. Mm-hmm. Wait, no, let me read it. Also, we had friends ahead of us that told the people, oh my gosh. We were going out with friends and the friends ahead of us, we thought they told the swig worker to play that trick on us, but they hadn't.
That is hysterical. Yeah. So you told them about it, right, when you got back?
Oh, yeah, because I was convinced that they had said something. Because it was Colin. Shout out Colin. Doubt he's going to listen to this, but
yeah,
my old boss.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and he was a jokester. But yeah, it happens even to this day. The other day we were at the grocery store and we tried to buy cold medicine and the lady asked Caden, my husband, if he's old enough to buy cold medicine. So It's probably just going to continue to happen, honestly.
And those
until
are
he's
probably
40.
the moments that Caden like just rolls his eyes at this point.
That one pissed him off a little bit. It was kind of funny. He's like, it's freaking ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because now he's how old?
26.
Yeah.
Almost.
So just to wrap up the married at 18, we have to say it again.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Things you've learned, things you would tell your former self?
I think one thing I would tell my former self, because I don't think there's any changing my former self's mind, but to just continue dating
Yeah.
your husband, because I think that's very important, especially where we got married so young, because we just jumped right into
Yeah.
marriage and finances and all of the things, trying to figure out careers, all of it. And I think it's important to continue dating each other.
I agree. I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get married and
Yes.
then you guys now have 2 kiddos.
We do.
And I'm excited to get into this portion of the podcast because you have had quite the tumultuous way of bringing these kids into the world.
Yes.
So your first baby, Isla, that was quite the birth experience. So
It was.
I asked Cammie if she would be willing to share some of it with us.
Yes, I will, of course. So right now, okay, you can cut that part out. Just go into it.
Yeah, so let's go over both of your birth stories. So let's start with Isla because
Okay.
they were 2 very different experiences. So
different.
let's start with Isla.
Okay. So with Isla, I need to preface by saying I didn't technically need to be induced, but I had so much anxiety revolving around her that I just wanted her out so that I could see that she was okay.
Yeah.
So I chose to get induced at 39 weeks, and that was, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but
It happened.
it happened. So, but I went in, they did the Foley balloon, the most awful thing ever.
Modern day torture.
Literally the worst thing.
Feels
Probably one of the
medieval.
most painful. I don't know. There's a lot of painful things within my daughter's birth, but that was definitely at the top of the list. But my labor was so long. It was like 24 hours. Baby's heart rate kept dropping within that time. And also, let me say too, I again fantasize my life. I had this whole picture in my head of holding, like being able to hold my baby directly out, like after they're born, and just having that footage, having my husband cut the cord, having my sisters and my mom be there and watch,
Yeah.
watch like me meet my baby. I'm a ball baby, so I knew as soon as we would get to this section that I was just gonna cry. So the next little bit, I apologize. I'm a crybaby.
I am too, so it's fine.
But unfortunately, that did not happen. So after 24 hours, I was just too swollen. I never dilated past a 4. So they just ultimately were like, I don't think you're gonna get past a 4. Like, your baby's starting to get stressed. So they recommended a C-section. I ultimately just decided to go with it because I felt like that was safest for the baby. So as soon as that conversation was had, all of a sudden, everybody starts rushing in the room. They're changing me and Kate, and I get like anxiety thinking about it, honestly.
Yeah,
like
same.
I get like so much anxiety.
Because I was here.
Yeah.
Let's just also add that in. So
Yes.
in the room, it was Cammie and Caden, obviously, our mom, Sherry,
Yes.
and then me and my sister, Kylie.
Yeah.
And so
And I think Carly was there too.
Carly was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law was there as well.
Well, actually, at that time,
Dad was there too.
there were a few people because
was a
they
few
didn't have like caps on visitors at that hospital, which is wild.
And they, we were expecting to be a while because I only wanted in the room when I actually birthed the child, my sisters, my mom, and then my husband, obviously.
Yeah.
So I didn't want and my mother-in-law was also, I think I invited her.
You
in
did,
too.
I think, in the end. Yeah.
But the dads, I obviously did not want in there.
Yeah.
But they were there just like visiting, hanging out because it was such a long process. And my dad had actually heard my dad and sister had actually heard the nurses talking about how swollen I was and how they think I was going to have a C-section. So my dad kind of just started heading out because he knew it was going to get kind of crazy. So as soon as that happened, I'm pretty sure some people left.
Yeah.
I think Chad left maybe. Actually,
yeah, I think people left, and then I just distinctly remember Caden was like in panic.
Oh yeah, we all were.
He was panicking big time to the point where my mom had to help him get dressed because he physically couldn't move.
I think it's because we were all so stunned. And like I had prepared myself for a vaginal delivery. I had not even, like I have never really read about C-sections. All I knew was I was getting cut open while I was awake. And so I started panicking. Caden, my husband, had no idea what was happening. Yeah. And so they come in, again, just start poking me with stuff. Also, my epidural kept wearing off during the labor, the whole labor. It kept wearing off. I would up it and it just still kept wearing off. So they will me back. And this sounds so dramatic to say, but because I wasn't warned about any of like the symptoms or like anything you get from the medication, like I for some reason thought you weren't allowed to fall asleep during a C-section. So I like was trying so hard to stay awake. And at that point I was just so exhausted. So I kept kind of falling asleep, but then I was like in my head thinking like, I'm going to die. I don't know why. If you fall
asleep, I didn't know that. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea.
Like I was just freaked out. No one was talking to me. No one was saying anything. They just wheeled me back. So I don't really remember being cut open. I just remember them saying that you're going to feel a super heavy weight. And that's them pulling the baby out. And then I remember hearing her cry. And I am so grateful I was able to remember this moment at least. But my husband just looks at me and he's just like, she has black hair. Like, she has so much hair, Cammie. And like, they like held her up and I saw her for just a split second. And then Caden, my husband, walks away with the baby. And it's just me and I'm just laying there. And all of a sudden, like, I just feel so much pain. And I'm like kind of like just like crying a little bit and just like they could tell I was in pain. So the anesthesiologist wheeled over and he was like, are you okay? Like, you feeling pressure? Are you feeling pain? And I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. And next thing I knew, I was out. So unfortunately, the epidural wore off during my C-section. I'm grateful it wasn't worn off for the actual cut, but I did start feeling them sew me up. And that was the most awful experience.
I can imagine that would be very traumatic. Yeah, it was. Especially where they weren't being very communicative with you, like leading up to the
I had no idea
C-section, and I'm sure that was just overwhelming.
Yeah, so Caden, being so stressed, he wheels the baby into the room with my sister, my mom, my father-in-law. Yeah. Like a few people. And he just hands the baby to Chad. My father-in-law, or who?
I think I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, he just handed the baby to somebody because he was so worried about me that he wanted to come back and be with me, which I'm so grateful for. But when I woke up, I was, gosh, I'm sorry, I keep crying.
It's okay.
I was devastated that I did not get to see like the people I love the most hold my first baby. Yeah. It was really hard, and I remember being so out of it that like I don't even remember who was there. Like I remember a snippet of Court, my sister-in-law. Because when I woke up, they for some reason didn't have pain meds yet. So I was completely like unnumb. So I just felt everything. I was in so much pain. They immediately tried to put the baby on me and I just couldn't really, I wasn't with it. Yeah. And yeah, I just remember being so sad that I did not get to hold my baby first, which might sound selfish, but
I think that this is one of the main times in life that you can feel selfish and that you have every right to be sad about that. Yeah. Yeah. I think any mom would be sad about that, especially where it's your first baby and you've built it up so much in your mind, which I think everybody does, but you've built it up, and then for it to be number one, them telling you just kidding, you have to get a C-section
Yeah.
after you've already labored for so
20
long.
Yeah. Which, to preface as well, I am so grateful that I went home with a healthy baby.
Yeah.
And that I had the birth that I have, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that have a lot worse than I did, or that unfortunately don't go home with their baby. So I am so, so grateful, but it does still suck.
Yeah.
That experience. And yeah, my baby was the sweetest thing ever, but healing from that, she was so beautiful. But yeah,
I do remember, because you had come back from the C-section, and I do remember at this point they wheeled you in, we were all in the room, and then Caden came in with the baby, and at first everyone was talking to you, and then they wheeled the baby in, and we were all like like, because that is the first thing you saw was her jet black hair.
Yeah.
And there was so much of it.
So much.
And I remember everybody kind of flooding over to her, and I'm going to cry, but I remember looking back at you, and I just felt so sad for you because you were obviously not well. And so I walked over to you and held your hand, and you were like shaking, and like, just, I could tell you were in a lot of pain and just confused and having a hard time. And they had everybody leave, but that was just sad overall, because I feel like you had a room with people who love you so much and were there to support you. And I think that we all could tell in that moment just the heartbreak of the situation and it just not going the way that you wanted it to. And anyways, but you're a perfect mom.
Thank
and
you.
She really is perfect.
Yeah, she was. And I really am grateful for a healthy baby that I had, and that I had so many people around me postpartum to help as well. And I had postpartum blues pretty bad, mainly because I really think it's because I hadn't had the experience that I wanted. So I was almost, what's the word? Like,
yeah, I feel like
just disappointed a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like every time we talked, you were almost like disassociating with the experience.
Yeah.
And it felt like you were just replaying kind of what happened and just trying to like grieve that experience that you didn't have while trying to enjoy the baby. And I feel like that's just something that's not talked about a lot. I feel like people are very touchy about birth experiences, and I never want anybody to feel like having a C-section is bad or not as good as having a vaginal delivery, because I think that any way you can bring a beautiful baby into the world is amazing.
Yes.
But I do think there's something to be said about you have all of this expectation, and what you see on social media or what you hear from people is delivering vaginally and then having the baby put on your chest. So I do feel like that's a very valid disappointment when that's what you've built up in your mind and that's not what happens. Yeah. So I do think you were trying to come to terms with it.
I was. And I also I'm kind of a what if person. So the whole time postpartum, I'm just like, what if I wouldn't have gotten induced? Like, what if, like, then I probably could have had my baby vaginally, but like, I have to pull myself back in and just say, like, you just never know. And with this next baby, it was kind of answered. Like, I think it would have ended that way either way, just because of my body. But
So if there were another girl in your same situation where birth didn't turn out the way that she wanted, what would you tell her?
I would tell my former self or someone going through that it's okay to be sad about not having the birth that you dreamed of having, but to not let it like linger and not to do the what ifs, because I did that so much, and I feel like that destroyed me, and blaming myself and being so disappointed in my body that it didn't do what it's supposed to do. And then also going back to blaming myself for, like, if I wouldn't have gotten induced, that, like, it's okay and it will be okay. And you just have to look at that sweet baby, because I would do that exact same experience over and over again to get that sweet baby. So,
Yeah. That's amazing. And you're incredible.
Thank you.
It was a roller coaster. I think it's so funny because people, I don't know if because of social media, we're all getting more high maintenance on stuff, or if people are just feeling more like emboldened to have the experience that they want. Either way, whatever. But I feel like in our family, the girls in our family, we've all wanted it to be like an experience with each other.
Yeah.
Like our sister Kylie, I was at both of her births. Cammie was at one of them. We were all at Cammie's for Isla. And then again for
Yours.
mine.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people just don't want anybody there.
I know.
They're very stickler about, I want it just to be me and my husband, which I do think that that can be really cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you had that with Cohen.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. And our sister Kylie had that with her last baby, Drew. And I do think that that can be really awesome. But I think we have so much fun together and we're so supportive of one another. But that I wanted you guys in the room for mine. But I think that's so foreign to some people. So when we like talk about your first birth, postpartum, you were dealing with all of that, but we were all kind of having a party.
Yeah.
I remember all of us kind of piled into my parents' room because they had like a recliner bed.
Yeah.
That was good for.
That's another thing too. I was not
Yeah.
prepped for the C-section.
No.
And I would go home and I remember seeing, sorry, I cut you off.
Oh,
but
you're good.
I remember seeing the little postpartum care basket that I had put together.
Yeah.
And the feeling of like, this is so dumb.
It's not.
But seeing like the Tux or like the Dermablast or whatever, all of that stuff, I just sat and sobbed staring at that because I was like, I prepped this. I don't even get to use it. I was so frustrated that I couldn't even get my baby out of the bassinet.
Yeah.
That one was pretty painful. And so yeah, we all piled in. My mom and dad's room.
did.
We had our own home at the time, but we stayed there because one, I needed the help because my husband had just started a new job.
Yeah.
And then two, the recliner. Because if you've had a C-section, it hurts to lay down flat.
Yeah.
For like a while. So
That's crazy.
and we didn't even have a couch yet because we had just bought this townhome and it just moved in a week before I had the baby. So
Yeah, you guys had that was wild. You got a dog, you got a house, a baby. What
Yeah.
else? Didn't you get a new car too?
I don't think so.
Still.
I think it was
dog,
mainly the
house,
dog.
baby.
The dog. I would not recommend getting a puppy right before you have a baby, especially a C-section.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Isla. Very different experience when we talk about Cohen.
Yes.
And I want you to share that as well.
Okay. So with Cohen, I had gone back and forth if I wanted to do a VBAC or not, but I just like had a feeling that I should just go the C-section route. I just felt like that was going to be better for baby and me. Plus I was kind of nervous about it. So I just decided to do that. We had a planned date, which was, I'm pretty sure it was the 29th. It was December 29th was my planned C-section date. So 37 weeks rolls around, and also throughout Cohen's entire pregnancy, I had multiple breakdowns. I was so anxious about having another C-section. Like, I was so nervous. It scared me so bad just because of how horrible I felt like my last one was.
Valid.
So I was so nervous about it. But 37 weeks rolls around, and me and my husband's birthdays are in December as well. So it's kind of a crazy month. His is the 14th, mine's the 17th. And on the 17th, so on my birthday, we were at a little shop, Jolly Holiday or something.
We went to go see Santa.
Yeah, we went to go see Santa. I took
Jolly's.
my little 2-year-old at the time
Yes.
to go see Santa, and I started bleeding. And so we thought I was going into labor. So, because I'm pretty sure I was also having contractions.
You were.
Yeah,
So at
so-
Jolly's you went in, you're like,
Met
yeah,
Santa.
I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
And
Started
then
panicking.
and then we were like, well, maybe you're going into labor. So maybe we should just go get lunch because then you're not going to be able to eat. So we all go to Cheesecake Factory and no one is eating because everyone is so stressed out. Didn't you end up taking the food to go?
I did. I didn't even need a bite of it, I don't think. But I was so anxious because I was like, what if something's wrong? Like, that's just, I'm kind of an anxious person when it comes to like pregnancy. So I was like, what if something's wrong? So we went to the hospital. They checked.
I feel like we should preface too, though, because that sounds wild that you were bleeding and we were just like, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. You did call your doctor.
I did call my doctor.
They told you, like, not an emergency, but you should go in, right?
Yeah, they said. They said at some point today, just come in just to get checked
so
to make sure that you're not.
I just want to make sure people don't think that you were like actively like having a big situation. We're just like, let's go to Cheesecake Factory.
Like
that's not how it went
lighter
down.
spotting.
Yes.
Well, more like heavier spotting. I mean, like it wasn't like. Because I'm pretty sure they asked like if it's enough to fill the pad.
They did. That's exactly.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was more just like a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. Just felt like we needed to make that distinction.
Yes, we did. So we go to the hospital, me and my mom, because I don't remember. I think my husband was working and they had a really busy day. So I just told him that if they wanted to take me back, that I'd call him. Because I remember my doctor saying they really don't want to do a C-section before 38 weeks. So I was 37 weeks at the time. And I think to the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. 37 weeks to the day. And I thought I was going to have a baby on my birthday, which I wasn't too thrilled about. So I go in, they check. I'm not dilated at all. They said like, they didn't even like check me for contractions. They just checked baby. Baby was great. So they sent me home. So then the next day I had a doctor appointment, the 18th. And he said, wait, I think my doctor's appointment. Yeah, it was the 18th. And I just asked him, I was like, I've been contracting a lot. I was bleeding. And he was like, oh, sorry. He was like, okay, if you start bleeding again, call and come and get checked. And then he said, if you start contracting consistently every 2 to 3 minutes apart for over 2 hours to go in. So the night of the 19th comes. And so 2 days later, after the bleeding incident, I hadn't bled again since then. But that night, my sister was over, Kylie, and my mom and I was like, I cannot tell if I'm having contractions or not. Like, it hurt, but then I was like, am I overthinking? Like, is it just Braxton Hicks and I'm just being a baby? I had no idea. So, but then they started getting like pretty painful. And again, too, I always said that if I went into labor naturally, I would try for a VBAC, but this didn't happen in this case. But I don't know why I would tell myself that, just to make myself feel better. But I go in. Wait, no. So I'm contracting every 2 to 3 minutes for, at this point, like 2 hours. And I was like, should I go in? Should I not go in? My sister and my mom were like, no, you should go in. And I just could not. I gaslight myself. I'm like, nah, this isn't it. Like, I'm not going in.
They call me on the phone. It's late at night at
it's
this
like
point.
11 p.m.
It's 11 p.m. and Cammie is in denial. We're like, you need to go in. She says, I think I'm going to take a shower because I look like crap and I needed to wash my hair. I don't think you had packed your hospital bag.
I had not packed my hospital bag.
Nothing, because you thought you were having a scheduled C-section.
Yes, I thought I still had 2 weeks.
So denial is a river in Egypt, they say, and that girl was wading in it. She did not want to go in.
I did not. So then finally it's been like 4 hours at this point.
Yeah.
I did my hair. I self-tanned. I packed a little bag. I didn't pack what I had planned, but I packed what needed to be packed. So then it's like 1 a.m. at this point, and I wake my husband up off the couch, and I'm like, okay, I think we need to go in. Like, these are getting pretty painful, and they're 2 to 3 minutes apart, like for 4 hours now. So we go into the hospital. We have to like enter through like the emergency room entrance, whatever. They pull me up. I think they checked me first, and they were like, you were not dilated like at all. They couldn't even get past to my cervix. I was that closed. So, which was crazy after like what I thought was like 4 hours of contractions. Cause once she said that, I was like, am I crazy? Like, am I not contracting? So then they hook up like the monitor and stuff. And I was definitely contracting. Like, she's like, you should be at least like opened a little bit.
And
after
I
4
feel
hours.
that we should also mention, you're not a baby. I feel like you're very much a deal with it type of girl.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're going to suffer through it because you don't want to be dramatic.
Yes.
Like you would risk being in a lot of pain or leaving things unchecked because you don't want to be dramatic. Like
hence
you
why
just
I had
said,
a
you
kidney
gaslight your
infection and
exactly.
all of that while I was pregnant because I knew I had a UTI, but it was anyways.
You gaslight yourself for sure.
I do gaslight myself. So they checked that, not dilated, but it should have been. So she calls my doctor and she was like, yeah, typically like they don't really want to do C-sections before 38 weeks. So I'm not sure that you're going to be having the baby today. And at that point I was like, I'm already here. Like, I really just want to do it. Like, I understand if it's dangerous, but like also baby's healthy from what they said. I was like, I don't want to keep coming back because I'm having contractions so consistently and painful. Like, they were getting painful. So I was
and
like,
at that point, not to interrupt you, but at that point too, you had already had multiple kind of scares.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that would have just been so much stress to be discharged again.
Yes.
And is the same thing going to happen? Or when are you going to go in?
Yeah.
You know?
No, for real. So then she goes out, she comes back in and she was like, okay, doctor says we're having a birthday. And I was like, what? Like, I was excited, but I think also the reason why I took so long to go in was because I was like, I don't know if I'm mentally prepared to have the C-section tonight.
Yeah.
But I also think that was like a blessing in disguise that it was like kind of random and happened like organically, because I think I would have passed out.
That's such a good point. I think you're right. So much
anxiety, because I get really anxious with that stuff. And
how could you not, like, I'm sure I know because I'm your sister and we talked about it, but running through your mind was your last experience and how you felt the stitches and just the chaos and everything. And so.
Yeah. So I think it's a blessing that I kind of went by myself. So they come in, they start doing the IV, whatever. I text my mom. I'm like, okay, baby time. And I just had her come to the hospital just in case something happened like it did last time. And Caden, my husband, needed like somebody. So I texted her, and then I also had my mother-in-law come, and everyone else was asleep at this. Well, I texted you guys and let you know that I was having the baby.
Yeah, but at that point,
it was like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was middle of the night.
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m. that they decided that I was having the baby, and then baby was born by 5:15. So it happened really fast. But so this C-section, I remember they came in, they did my IV. I'm hooked up to all the monitors. I was actually feeling pretty good. I was like not anxious. And then I needed to get up to go to the bathroom. And I got up. My husband, I remember the nurse had to like help me with the cords, and I just lost it. I was like, I got so anxious. I started having a full-blown panic attack. I got so nauseous because they gave me medicine that makes me nauseous, and I don't do well with nausea. I'm like, I can do some pain, but I do not do well with nausea. So I start freaking out. The doctors go out, and I'm talking to my husband, and I'm like, Caden, I need you to punch me. Like, I need you to knock me out. I told him I'm not having any more babies. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I can't do this every time. I was completely crashing out. I was like, I'm so nauseous. Then the nurse comes in and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, honestly, no.
No.
I'm like, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. Like, I'm nauseous. So then she gives me like an alcohol wipe. She's calming me down. And I felt a lot better after that. She kind of told me what was going to happen. And I was like, okay, I got this. Like, baby has to come out. So like, I got this. And sometimes this is silly, but like, if something is scary to me, I just tell myself to laugh, and then it makes it better.
I think that's great advice.
Through the whole thing, I was just kind of laughing. It was kind of crazy because you walk to the OR room when it's not like an emergency and you're not already numb. So I walk in. The anesthesiologist was amazing. They said I was lucky because he's like one of the best. So he does the spinal block. Wasn't even bad. works immediately. So much better than the epidural.
Hallelujah.
Like, and for moms that had an awful experience the first time with the epidural, I promise you, the second time with the spinal block is like the world of difference. So they wheel me back, get the spinal block, they lay me down, and then they just start. And it was like the craziest experience. I was like, low-key, the anesthesiologist came up to me. He's like, you must be doing good. You're just like smiling. I was like on a high because I felt nothing. I didn't even feel them push on me. I literally felt nothing.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so grateful. And they pulled out the baby. They didn't really show him to me that time because he had swallowed like a lot of amniotic fluid. So they had to take him over and like get all of it out. So they're stitching me up. My husband left with the baby because I was like, I'm good this time. Like, I'm feeling great. So they finished, they wheel me in, and I just talked and talked. I was literally, I felt like I was like high. It was.
No, our mom describes you like that.
Yeah.
She said Cammie could not stop talking.
Oh, I talked for like 3 hours straight. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. Like, that was like the best experience. I remember like they willed me in, and I think this was like felt like mom, like it was like a redemptive almost for mom too, because I remember they willed me in, and I didn't know she was sitting there. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy. And like, I think because I had the baby at that point too.
Yeah.
I think her seeing me talking so happy, because when I saw her, she was just sobbing, and I was like, that's just so sweet that she cares so much. But
she does.
I'm so grateful for the experience that I was able to have. It was very redemptive, very healing, all the things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Incredible. And he's the cutest guy.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with him. He's my favorite.
So you brought him home. I remember we had our Johnson family Christmas party.
Yes.
On the 23rd, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were there.
Yeah, we came home on the 23rd. It was also crazy with Christmas. This whole time was just crazy. And we have, again, the 14th, my husband's birthday, the 17th, mine, the 20th, my baby's, and then my little girl is January 4th. So it's a very expensive
time of year for you guys.
Yes.
Jeez. You could just, I mean, we've talked about this, but just save up all year. Just have a monthly like fund for good heavens. That really is crazy to think about, though.
We're really gonna have to.
Yeah. Okay, so birth, leagues different. Great experience second go round. However, you had kind of the reverse.
I did.
As far as your postpartum story.
Yes.
Postpartum, again, like we said, this was all around Christmas time. It's cold, there's germs, and things went sour pretty quickly.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, so 23rd was my family Christmas party. My dad he was extremely sick that day. And also to preface, my family is very respectful. So my dad was in the other room all day because he didn't want to get the other kids sick. So he stayed in the other room all day long. We kind of celebrated like the 23rd without him, and it was just kind of an awkward Christmas, so weird.
To be honest. It was really
crazy.
weird.
I was trying to heal. Like, it was the first time that we were all like together with like all the new babies, because all of us siblings, there's 4 of us, had a baby within 2025. So 4 new grandkids in 2025.
Yeah, so we're juggling trying to keep all of the babies happy.
Yes.
My parents had just moved into their house like a month before, so not everything is fully done.
Yeah.
And there's not as many bedrooms in this house either. And so just trying to keep everyone happy, manage all of the children. Grandpa's sick.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, it did not feel like the normal Christmas. So, but yeah, so my dad's sick, and honestly, it just spread like rapid fire.
Yes.
So, I can't remember who went down next. Was it Isla?
I think Isla went down,
I think Isla went down next. My mother-in-law took her to their house so that she was away from the baby. And also we rent my parents' basement, so we were in my parents' basement. Soon after, my husband got sick. So he left and went upstairs.
Yep.
And I stayed downstairs with the baby. And you were there for a little while, you and Holland.
And then we got sick.
You guys got sick, but not until you went home.
Yeah. Because
you guys were there through
everyone
Christmas.
else got sick. And I was worried about Holland.
Yes.
And so I said, we haven't caught it yet. We're going to book it back down to Utah County.
Yeah.
And try to avoid it. And I think I told you I'll be back up.
Yeah.
But then we got it very bad, Holland and I.
It was a really bad cold.
Yeah. Like it was terrible.
It took my mom out. It took
out McKay's family.
So bad.
Like it just spread.
Yeah. And again, my dad did not, like he was so, like as soon as he got sick, he was in the room. Like it wasn't, like everyone was so careful, but it just was like that type.
I'm sure we all like had it before we even knew it, and it just was like a matter of time, honestly.
Like, everyone was together like before I had the baby, like so no one, and I think people probably were carrying the germs and didn't know it yet.
Yep.
And so I think that's where everybody kind of got it. Luckily, me and I didn't, like I was okay.
Yeah, you and Cohen were fine.
Yeah, so we stayed down in the basement. My mother-in-law had Isla, my daughter, because Caden, my husband, was so sick, like super high fever, couldn't even get out of bed. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so we quarantined down in the basement.
I want you to take us back to that time and kind of walk us through your mindset, because if you've had a baby, you know that that's a very vulnerable time, and everybody's different for what they like. But I know that you are, as I mentioned in your intro, you're a FOMO girl, you're a social girly. So I want you to walk us through how you were feeling and what that did to you, that postpartum experience.
I'm already emotional about it. And again, I'm so grateful that I had a healthy baby to take home. That,
of course, yeah.
But I was so lonely. To not even have your husband be able to hold your baby.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't even hold my baby that much besides like breastfeeding, because I was so scared that he was going to get sick, because I saw how it had taken out literally everybody who were adults. I couldn't even imagine what it would do to a brand new 2-day-old, 37-week baby.
Yeah.
So I was so anxious. I felt so alone. Like I knew it was best for the baby, obviously, and for me. And I literally slept in a mask.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? I literally only picked up the baby when I needed to feed him. Literally wore a mask 24/7.
Yeah.
And so how the time frame of this, like, so we had Christmas on the 25th, obviously. And then everybody leaves like the 26th, kind of, I think is when like Caden got sick, and my mother-in-law took Isla, and my dad was feeling better at this point, and I think he knew that I was struggling really bad with being alone, and especially post C-section, you're not supposed to do much, like you're supposed to heal, and being alone, I wasn't really able to do that. And like I didn't really have help. I didn't really have food because we had just moved in. And I remember my dad, like the 26th, was like, okay, we need to make a game plan. And my house had been a disaster. And if you know me, I do not thrive in messy,
very clean girl
areas. Like I can't function. I get ornery. I get mean.
Yeah.
So it was like really messy from all the boxes. So my dad, bless his heart, he did so much for me with like keeping his distance at the same time. He was so worried about me, and the baby. He cleaned the entire house, like the entire basement. And then also my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. I'm so grateful for them as well, because they weren't sick, and so they came over, wore masks, they sanitized the entire house. Like they wiped down walls, they wiped down like literally the couch, like everything, so that we could keep my baby from getting sick. And so it was like a tag team effort of like my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and then my dad. Because my mom was out bad. You guys were out bad.
Yep.
And I honestly was scared to even have anybody come at that point because I was like, I don't want to, like everyone's been exposed to the sickness. So I didn't want anybody to even come by the baby. And lost my train of thought. But yeah, so my dad was super helpful, constantly texting to check in. My husband, I didn't even talk to him for like literally like 4 days because he was so sick. And on the other side of it, this part makes me feel so bad too. My daughter was so sick too, so she obviously couldn't be around. And I remember I would FaceTime her and she'd just be like, Mama, I want to come home. Like, I miss you. And she just wanted to be with me so bad that the mom guilt with that was so hard. Yeah. I felt so bad. I felt like I completely abandoned her, even though I was just trying to keep my other baby healthy. And I feel like that kind of had her have like a sour tongue towards Cohen for a minute. For a little bit. Because she was like, yeah, he freaking took my mom. So that side of it was super hard. I honestly probably cried constantly, like all day, every day through that like, it was probably like a week-long period that I didn't have anybody, like just like, again, my dad and my mother-in-law like helped as much as they could. Like my dad would knock on the door and like bring me food and like bring down masks, like all the things. And he definitely had my back with all of it and constantly like checking in. I remember this is kind of a little bit of a vulnerable story, but I'll just tell it anyways.
Great.
I just remember I was in the shower one of the nights and I was losing it because being the person I am, sometimes I chat GPT things that I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. And also for some reason on my TikTok, these videos of like newborn babies getting this sickness and then having permanent brain damage, dying, all the things kept popping up on my For You page. And so I was like a mental wreck. Yeah. So I was just sobbing in the bathroom. And my dad comes down and I didn't even know that he could hear me. And it's kind of embarrassing to look back and think that he could hear me. Yeah. But he comes downstairs and he just knocks and he's just like, Coob, are you okay? Like, just the sweetest guy. Like, constantly, I could go through our text thread, like, constantly texting me. He called my high school best friend and her mom to come over and bring me food. And so I do want to give them a shout out, Miley and Jen, for coming to see me. That meant a lot because there was not a lot of people that were able to come. And I wish that more people would have been willing to come a little bit. But yeah, I'm grateful for the people that were able to help out. And it's kind of a funny thing, but it was traumatic for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am so sad for you that happened because I can only imagine, since I had my first baby this year, I can't imagine not having everybody around to support right after. I think that's probably given you some really good like perspective though on other moms and how you want to show up for other people who are freshly postpartum. So I want to hear from you, having that experience, like how has that helped your mindset with showing up for your friends? Because I think that is something I had no idea pre having a baby, and I've apologized to a lot of my friends. I feel like I was not a good friend as far as checking in on people and trying to be supportive postpartum. And so I just want to know your mindset now, having that experience. How do you think that will translate into you supporting other people in the future?
Yeah. Well, I think about it a lot because I have like a few people that like are pregnant that I'm not closer to, but like a few of them I am. Yeah. But I feel like before I would always like text, but now even just like the simplest thing is dropping off a mail. Like, or just, I don't know, really checking in on them to see if they're okay and like what you can do to like help them I feel like I didn't really do before. Like I would even send like DoorDash something over for them.
Totally.
You know, like I wish like I had someone that would have just like even just dropped off a drink.
Yeah, kind of just anticipating unexpressed wishes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now that I've had a baby, I can imagine the things that would make me feel good, you know? And we did throw it out there for people on my Instagram to see what people have done. And I've also asked around, and I do have some things that I want to share from our listeners. Just, you know, good ideas of how you can support moms, because I think that that's so important. And I think
it is, yeah.
If you are listening and you haven't had a baby yet and you do have friends that are postpartum and you want to support them, I think this is helpful. I wish I would have had this before. So we'll go over those.
Because everybody's different too. Like I know there's a lot of people that don't really want a lot of people over, and there's people who do want. I'm a person that does want people over.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't.
Yes.
But I think even for those people, you can still
find you can still show up for them.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so we're going to get into some of the listener submissions.
Great.
And some of these are listeners. Some of these I hope will be listeners that are just my cute coworkers that I asked and they responded. But these are just some good ways that you can show up for the people that you love and help postpartum. So I had one girl that said, I loved this. She said, these aren't gifts, but I've realized that everyone needs different things. So I've started texting friends to say, I'm available these 2 days next week from this time to this time. Would you rather A, me grocery shop for you, B, come clean your house, C, hold the baby so you can nap or shower, D, take your kids to go play. So they get what is actually helpful to them. I always also text my new baby friends when I go to the grocery store to see what items I can grab for them when they're low. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I think that is perfect.
I love that. Shout out Meg.
I loved that.
Yes. Had another person that said, oh, hold on. Okay. I had one person that said that her neighbor brought her over like the viral snackle box to have post like at her side so that she could remember to eat. Cause I feel like it is hard sometimes postpartum.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Obviously sometimes when you're breastfeeding, you're like ravenous.
Yeah.
But I also remember there were times that if my mother-in-law wouldn't have had food ready for me, I don't know that I would have eaten. So I love that. Just a cute little snackle box full of favorite treats.
Carly, like the day after I got back, she literally had a whole Walmart grocery
That's
order.
cute. Grizzy.
I remember my mother-in-law actually got us like a whole load of groceries after, and that was really helpful too. And
So
they came
helpful.
and cooked dinner, but then everybody got sick, so then they kind of had to keep their distance.
Yeah. But the groceries were nice.
The groceries were there.
Okay, I had another friend who said, my friends came over and spent a day cleaning my house. They did the laundry and washed all my pump parts too. It was amazing for sure and spoke volumes to me.
Yeah,
Love that.
too.
Okay, we had a couple other people. Meals. I don't want anyone experiencing the chaos of my house with laundry or dishes. That causes me more stress. But meals always feel like a huge burden off of me and my husband, especially surprise lunches.
Yeah.
I had an angel of a neighbor who would randomly leave a lunch on my doorstep when I was postpartum with my first. No small talk, no pressure, just a text saying that lunch was at my door, and it saved me multiple times. That makes me want to cry.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Seriously, so sweet.
And lunch is a good idea too, because I feel like you get a lot of dinners. Like the Relief Society, like in our church, brought me a few meals.
Yeah.
But that was like, they brought it to me like by the time Caden was good.
Yeah.
So I feel like that first week, lunches would actually be a really good idea because you get a lot of dinners, I feel like.
No, I think that that's genius. I think that there are so many ways, because I feel like everyone, for the most part, really wants to show up for their friends.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that the desire is there to be supportive and show people that you love them. I think it just takes a little bit of thought. So hopefully this was helpful for people listening. Just some ideas. I think that there are definitely a couple that I want to implement. I love what Meg said about giving options of what would be most helpful in the minute. And I just think we can all do better probably. I mean, I'm sure there are some that are rock stars, but I know I can do better at showing up for people I love.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for those submissions, guys. Those were so great. Okay, so we are going to enter the new segment of the show.
Okay.
I did forget to say that our last segment is technically called Drive-Through Confessions. I kind of want to break it up because I think that's fun.
Yeah.
This new segment is called Sip and Spill, and this is our rapid fire questions for the guest before we wrap things up. So, what is something that you love about yourself?
I feel like I'm told a lot, and like I do love this about myself, is that I try my hardest to be kind to everyone that's around me. Or like think about different things that I could do for them. So I feel like probably that.
Yeah, you have a very caring heart, and I do love that about you.
Thank you.
Okay, what is your forever comfort movie or show? Or both? Do both.
Okay. I would say show is Vampire Diaries.
Ayo.
Freaking love that. Movie, Princess Diaries too.
Number two.
Specifically. That or Hannah Montana the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are all, they all slap.
Yes.
You know? So I just posted this to my story the other day, but Holland, I was changing her diaper and I gave her the remote. TV was off. Okay. I give her the remote, and next thing I know, I'm hearing what? Immediately, I'm like, I think that's Vampire Diaries. I look over. She had turned on TV, had made it to Peacock, I think it was, and had clicked on Vampire Diaries. I have not been watching it on Peacock, and it was like, you could tell it was from episode 1, very first part. She clicked on Vampire Diaries, and my heart was kind of happy because I'm like, that's so funny.
That is so funny.
You have no idea what you've opened up for yourself in the future.
I have to say too, the first time, because I hadn't watched it until like later on, but this chick, I remember the first time not the first time she had watched it, but the first time I had seen it a little bit was the last episode.
Yeah, I was watching the finale at my parents' house. I'm in college.
Yeah.
I come home to watch the finale.
Oh, sorry. This chick sobbing. And I'm like, what is this movie about? Like hysterically bawling. And now I understand. Now that I watched it, I'm pretty sure you're the one that like me and Shalice, like we thought we had COVID one time.
Yeah.
We didn't. We just had a really bad cold. So we
true.
literally just hid in my room and we binged Vampire Diaries, right? Wasn't it Vampire Diaries? That's like I think when I started watching it.
My work didn't make me come in. I don't think I went to work for 2 weeks.
Oh, we were so sick.
We were so sick.
But it wasn't COVID.
Yeah, I think, sorry, but I think I actually ended up telling my work it was.
Yeah.
Because I was so sure that it was.
We were.
But finally we went and got tested and it was like,
negative.
oh no, we don't have it. I'm still convinced whatever.
Yeah.
Could have happened.
It could have.
Okay, love that. What's the most irrational thing you've cried about lately?
Both of my parents are very healthy, and this is not going to happen anytime soon. It better not, at least. But I feel like, so I would consider this irrational because they're both very healthy. They've got a long life to live still. But sometimes
this is not where I thought you were going.
Sometimes I'll just be driving and I'll just like think about it, thinking about my parents passing away, and I'll just start sobbing.
That's relatable.
That or
That's
my husband.
Fair. So you've done that recently.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible.
What do you think I was going to say?
I didn't know, but you started talking about mom and dad's health and I was like, oh. Corey and Sherry, we love you.
Yes.
Okay. What is something everyone should try once? This could be food. This could be an activity. Just what's something everyone should try once?
Oh. A dirty soda.
Amen. Amen.
Yep.
Okay. What is a piece of advice you ignore yourself? Good advice, but you ignore it yourself.
I feel like comparison is the thief of joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I struggle really bad with comparison, as do a lot of people, I feel like, especially with social media. And I feel like that's really good advice that I 1000% ignore.
Yeah. How do you think how do we not ignore that? Because I agree. I think I love that quote. I think it's 100% true.
Yeah.
It does rob you of joy, but how do you remember that?
I feel like a lot of times, like personally, like when I find myself in a really deep cycle where I'm comparing myself to other people or comparing my life, my house, everything.
Yeah.
I just like have to bring myself back to reality and just tell myself I'm literally robbing myself of like joy. It's just bringing me down. It's causing me to be depressed. It's like I should just be grateful for what I have because I do have an amazing life.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that love me. And so I just have to bring myself back to reality.
I love that. I think gratitude really can be a
gratitude for
great
sure.
grounding part of your life. Touching grass, if you will.
Yes.
Okay. Last part of this episode. If you were on a drink run, okay, pause. This is called the last sip, okay? So this is our last sip of the podcast.
Okay.
If you were on a drink run with the people who mean the very most to you, what would you want them to know?
Okay. This is something that I was told a long time ago, and I might get emotional because this like hits home for me because I'm very much a people pleaser. I love to be loved by everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, this was said to me by Grandpa, actually.
Cute.
He said, you cannot be everything to everyone. And I feel like that has always stuck with me because the thought of someone having an issue with me or someone not liking me is okay, but I have such a hard time with that. And I just want to be liked by everybody. And it's really something that, like, I'm not going to lie, affects me on the daily, especially, like, if I find out someone has an issue with me. I feel like I'm constantly just, like, thinking about, like, what went wrong, what happened. And I just am, like, trying to, like, fix things when you just have to remember, like, that you cannot be everything to everyone.
I agree. And I feel like that's another area that for sure can rob you of joy.
Oh, yeah.
If you're constantly looking at what other people are thinking of you or like if you're not everything to everybody, I think that can rob you of joy and rob you of time spent on people who do prioritize you and do feel like you are, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing
you only
advice.
got time for people who really are going to care for you.
It's so true. And I feel like at the end of the day, the people who pour the most into you are the people that you also should want to pour the most into. And I feel like that's what helps you become even a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that that's beautiful advice, though. I love it.
Yeah.
Cami, thanks so much for coming on this podcast.
This is so fun.
The only thing I will say, because I don't know how we've made it to the end of the podcast without saying this, and maybe I'll try to clip this to the front somehow. Don't know how that will work, but I feel that everybody listening should know exactly what Coob stands for, because I've referred to her as Coob, and every time I say Cami for the sake of like being respectful of her given name, it feels awkward to me because her name is Coob, Coob. I gave her that nickname.
She did like forever ago.
Because Cami, if you know her, she was actually insane as a child. Okay.
She was.
And so somehow her name evolved from Cami to Coob. And my dad coined the following, what's that called? What's it called when you go like C is for this, O is for this, O is for this, B is for this?
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to look that up. I can't remember right now.
Acronyms?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Acronym.
Yeah.
Cami. Okay. So the acronym for Coob is Creature of Outrageous Behavior. And when I tell you that could not be more fitting for this girl as a youth, it's spot on. So she is still Coob.
Kylie, sorry to interrupt you, but I also, my nephews switched Coob to Hoobie. So
They
now
did.
I'm also Hoobie. Did I tell you what Kylie texted me?
She texted it to me too, and you just told me, and now I can remember. Okay, hold on. I'm going to it. Okay, this is from our. This is also perfect. I gotta somehow move this to the front.
Yeah.
If I can't, it's still great. Okay, Hoobie. hilarious, optimistic, one of a kind, beautiful, inspiring, exceptional. I think we've all been blessed by listening to Hooby share her thoughts today. And I'm so grateful that you were on today's Drink
Thank you
Run.
for having me. It was so fun.
And that wraps up the very first episode of Drink Run. Thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure and for being here from the very beginning. I hope today's conversation reminded you that motherhood is beautiful, it's messy, it's overwhelming, and that nobody should have to go through it alone. As we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this. Think about the new mamas in your life, the ones who just had a baby, the ones who are still adjusting, the ones who might be quietly struggling. Just send the text, drop off the food, ask how they're really doing. Sometimes the smallest acts of support mean the most. Thank you so much for listening to Drink Run. I'll see you next time for more honest conversations, more good drinks, and amazing stories that I know that you will all love.